It was a quiet cycle in the heart of the galaxy. The Galactic Council sat in their shining hall, where thousands of voices usually argued about trade, borders, and power. But this time, silence ruled the chamber. Every species felt the tension. Because new readings had arrived from the edge of the Sol system, Earth's home, the humans were considered young. They were not the oldest, not the strongest, and certainly not the wisest race. To many, they were only recent newcomers to the stars. Empires thousands of years old laughed at them. Some called them brave, some called them reckless, and others called them a dangerous child still playing with fire. But something had changed. Something was wrong. The Council had gathered because hidden probes detected strange energy surges near Earth's asteroid belt. At first, many thought it was a mistake. Others believed it was simply human experiments with mining or weapons. But then the numbers came in again and again. The energy was real. The readings were stable, repeating, and too powerful to ignore. Oldest counselors whispered to each other, their scales or feathers trembling. The power signatures were not normal. They did not match any known technology in the galaxy. In fact, they looked older. Much older. Ancient. A tall, insect-like counselor tapped his claws on the table. His voice was sharp and annoyed. Humans have no history with advanced weapons. They are a young race. They could not create something that even our science cannot explain. But another elder, a reptilian scholar, hissed softly. Do not underestimate them. They spread too quickly for a young species. They adapt faster than most. If they have found something hidden in their system, then we should all be concerned. The room fell quiet again, far away. Beyond the shining council chambers, small alien scout ships drifted close to the Sol system. They carried spies and scientists, eager to see what the humans were hiding. For cycles, alien empires had watched Earth with suspicion. Humans were unpredictable. Sometimes kind, sometimes aggressive, always stubborn. One of the scouts drifted too close to the asteroid belt near Mars. Its sensors picked up strange signals, metallic echoes, massive structures hidden in the shadows of rock. The crew panicked, sending bursts of information back to their empire. But before the message could finish, the signal was cut. The ship vanished. No explosion, no wreckage, no distress call. It was simply gone. News spread quickly through the stars. Whispers passed between fleets and colonies. What happened in Sol? Who destroyed the ship? Humans denied everything, but their silence only made the mystery worse. In human space, things were very different. On Earth and its colonies, the government spoke in calm voices. Officially, nothing unusual was happening. But behind closed doors, deep in secret bunkers, human leaders watched the galaxy with steady eyes. They knew the time was near. For centuries, humanity had carried a secret. Something hidden far away from alien eyes. Something even most humans did not know. Buried in the asteroid belt, hidden under rock and silence, lay warships. Not just any warships, giants of steel and power, older than most civilizations in the Theo galaxy. They had slept for ages waiting. The first signs of movement came slowly. Alien observers positioned near Jupiter caught faint flashes, shadows moving inside the asteroid field. They thought it was mining equipment or transports. But then, the shapes grew clearer. Massive hulls turned in the darkness. Engines too old to understand burned faintly, awakening from their long slumber. The observers trembled. These were not stations, not colonies. They were warships. Panic spread across the galaxy. In countless systems, leaders shouted, "Impossible! Humans cannot build this. They are too young." Others whispered, "Then who gave it to them? Did they find it?" Historians rushed to study the energy readings. The more they studied, the more frightened they became. The technology was not only powerful, it was ancient. The energy signatures predated most known empires. Some even predated the council itself. One avian scholar spread his wings in fear as he spoke before the council. These ships are older than our histories, older than our civilizations. If humans command them, then we face something far beyond our control. Meanwhile, on Earth, in a hidden chamber beneath the Atlantic Alliance headquarters, human commanders sat around a dark table. Their faces were calm, but their voices carried heavy weight. "It has begun," one of them said. "The galaxy is watching. Let them watch," another answered coldly. "For too long, they mocked us. For too long, they thought we were weak. Now they will see." Above them, in orbit, satellites relayed encrypted signals to the asteroid belt. Slowly, the old warships awakened one by one. Their hulls bore strange markings, not like modern human design. Some looked alien. Some looked ancient. But all of them carried the same flag, now the flag of Earth. The secret was no longer safe. Back in the council hall, chaos erupted. Some demanded immediate action, send fleets to Sol, force humans to explain. Others shouted for caution. One wanted to risk war with an unknown power. The insect-like delegate struck the table with his claw. "They are a danger to all of us. If humans truly control these warships, then no empire is safe. They must be stopped now, before it is too late." But the reptilian elder shook his head. "Do you not see? If they had wanted conquest, they would have used these ships long ago. Why do they reveal them now? That is the question we should ask." In distant colonies, ordinary people whispered in fear and awe. Traders spoke of human warships moving among the asteroids. Smugglers swore they had seen massive cannons glowing faintly in the dark. Some called humans liars, others called them gods. And still, the humans remained silent. Then came the second disappearance. Another alien scout ship from a different empire entered the asteroid field. Like the first, it never returned. Its signal blinked once, then was gone. The galaxy's fear deepened. Some empires pulled their fleets back from Sol, terrified. Others prepared armies, determined to strike first. Suspicion poisoned every council meeting, but the humans still said nothing. On Earth, deep within command bunkers, old records were unlocked. Files hidden for centuries were opened. Young officers trembled as they read them. The documents spoke of an ancient time, long before the council, long before most empires had even existed. The warships were not new. They had been built in silence, hidden from the stars, and buried in stone. Some whispered they were from a forgotten human past. Others said they were gifts or warnings from something greater. But one thing was certain. The ships belonged to humanity now. The stage was set. The galaxy held its breath, waiting for the humans to move, waiting for the secret fleet to reveal itself. And as the stars watched in silence, a single warship turned its engines fully awake. Light rippled across its ancient hull. Its guns, silent for millennia, hummed with deadly power once more. For the first time in history, the galaxy realized a terrifying truth. Humanity was not what they thought, and their secret was only beginning to unfold. The galaxy was no longer calm. The first alien scout ship had vanished near the asteroid belt, and now whispers filled every starport and council chamber. But when a second scout from another empire disappeared in the same place, whispers turned into fear. 2 ships gone. No wreckage, no signals. Just silence. It was not a mistake. It was not an accident. Something in the asteroid belt was alive, awake, and dangerous. Alien fleets pulled back from Sol, afraid of crossing into human territory. Yet curiosity was stronger than fear. Every empire wanted to know the truth. Some sent spies, others sent hidden probes. The readings they gathered only deepened the mystery. The asteroid field between Mars and Jupiter no longer looked empty. Strange shadows moved between the rocks, too large to be mining equipment. Metallic structures, massive in size, shifted quietly in the dark. Energy signatures pulsed like heartbeats, slow and steady. The galaxy realized the humans were hiding something massive. In the Galactic Council, the tension grew unbearable. "They are preparing for war," shouted an insectoid commander, his claws clicking in fury. "We cannot allow this to continue. If humans unleash whatever they are hiding, entire empires will fall." But an elder reptilian delegate raised his scaled hand calmly. "You speak with fear, not wisdom. If humans had wanted to strike, they would have already done so. Why reveal their fleet only now? That is what troubles me." An avian scholar added in a trembling voice, "The readings are old, very old. These ships are not simply human creations. They are older than our histories. If humans control them, then perhaps they are more than just another young race." The council fell silent. No one wanted to admit it, but the truth was spreading. Humans might not be weak anymore. Far from the council, in a hidden observation station orbiting near Jupiter, an alien crew watched carefully. They had strict orders: observe, record, and never interfere. Their sensors were tuned to the asteroid belt, scanning every movement. At first, they saw nothing unusual. But as the hours passed, shadows shifted. A massive shape emerged from behind a cluster of rocks. The crew froze. It was a ship. A warship unlike anything they had ever seen. Its hull was dark, scarred with age, but its design carried a terrifying elegance. Huge cannons lined its sides. Engines glowed faintly like sleeping suns. One of the aliens whispered, "That ship is bigger than our dreadnoughts." Before they could finish, another shape appeared, then another, and another. Dozens of ships began to rise from the shadows of the asteroid belt. Their sheer size made the aliens tremble. These were not relics drifting in silence. They were awake. The crew scrambled to send a message back to their empire, but as the signal transmitted, their screens went black. Their systems froze. An unknown code flooded their computers, shutting them down. The last thing they saw before their cameras died was a single human emblem flashing across the intercepted feed Earth's flag. The message was clear: the humans know you are watching. On Earth, deep inside underground command centers, human leaders spoke in hushed but confident tones. The fleet had been seen. The galaxy was watching. Now the game was truly beginning. General Hale, a man with sharp eyes and a steady voice, leaned over the table. "They are afraid," he said. "They should be," answered Admiral Reyes. "Let them wonder. Let them argue. The longer they fear the shadows, the stronger our position becomes." But another voice spoke, quieter, more cautious. Dr. Marin, a historian, leaned forward. "They will not only fear. Some will act. Empires will not sit and wait. They will try to strike us before we fully awaken the fleet." The room grew heavy with silence. Everyone knew it was true. Meanwhile, rumors spread like wildfire among ordinary people across the galaxy. Traders whispered of ghost ships in the asteroid belt. Smugglers swore that human warships had targeted their scanners, warning them away. Some colonists believed humans had found alien technology from a forgotten age. Others thought the ships were not alien at all but built by humans long ago. From a history no one remembered. Stories grew with every telling. They say the ships are older than the stars. They say humans built them before the council even existed. They say anyone who enters the belt never returns. Fear spread faster than truth. In human colonies, ordinary citizens asked questions too. Some demanded answers from their governments. What are we hiding? Why now? But the officials gave no clear response. Instead, they repeated the same calm message. Everything is under control. Humanity is safe, yet behind closed doors humanity prepared. Engineers tested ancient systems. Pilots trained in secret simulators. Commanders studied forgotten strategies. The fleet was not just being revealed. It was being awakened. In the shadows of the asteroid belt itself, the great ships stirred. They were not silent anymore. One by one, they powered up. Old engines roared back to life. Massive cannons hummed with energy. To an outside observer, the sight was terrifying. Dozens of ancient warships, their designs alien yet strangely human, moved in perfect formation. They glided through the belt as if they had always been waiting. But what frightened alien observers most was not their size or power, it was their discipline. These were not broken relics or lost ruins. These ships were ready for war. Back at the Galactic Council, panic reached its peak. An insectoid commander slammed his claws against the table. This is a declaration of war. Humanity has hidden weapons that could destroy us all. We must unite and strike before it is too late. But others hesitated. The reptilian elder spoke again. Strike? Against what? You do not even know how many ships they control. You do not know their full strength. To attack blindly is suicide. The avian scholar added, and what if you are wrong? What if humanity is not preparing for war, but for defense? They have not attacked anyone. They have only revealed their power. If we provoke them, we may awaken something none of us can stop. The chamber descended into chaos, voices screaming, threats exchanged, alliances breaking. Fear poisoned every word. Meanwhile, in a quiet human command room, General Haile watched the council debates on intercepted transmissions. He allowed himself a thin smile. Look at them, he said. They are tearing themselves apart without us firing a single shot. Dr. Marin looked less pleased. Fear is a dangerous weapon. It spreads fast, but it can also turn against us. If the empires unite against us, we may face the largest fleet in history. Admiral Reyes answered firmly. Then let them come. They will find the shadows waiting. The second disappearance was still fresh in every empire's memory, but then came the third. A stealth drone, invisible to most detection systems, entered the asteroid field. It lasted only minutes before its signal cut off. This time, however, a final burst of data reached its masters before dying. The images it sent were blurry, corrupted but clear enough. They showed a massive warship, its cannons glowing with power, turning directly toward the drone. The final frame was darkness. The galaxy erupted. Now there was no doubt. The humans were not bluffing. Their fleet was real. Their power was real. And they were not afraid to use it. But still, humanity spoke no words, no declarations, no threats. Only silence. And silence was worse than war. In the shadows of the asteroid belt, the fleet continued to awaken. Ship after ship, engine after engine, cannon after cannon. The sleeping giants were fully alive now. Their black hulls reflected no light, their movements silent and precise. They were ready. Across the galaxy, every empire asked the same question. Why had humans waited until now? Why reveal their secret fleet? What did they want? The galaxy had no answers. Only fear. And as the stars turned silently above, humanity's shadow stretched wider, darker, and far more terrifying than anyone had ever imagined. The galaxy had never seen such fear before. 2 scout ships were gone. A stealth drone had vanished. And now, strange images spread from the asteroid belt, images of massive warships moving silently through the rocks. Every empire asked the same question. What are these ships? Where did they come from? In the Galactic Council, chaos ruled. The insectoid commander hissed and clicked his claws. These are human lies. They must have stolen this technology from some forgotten ruin. No young race can build ships like that. But the avian scholar flapped his wings nervously. No, the readings are too clear. These ships are ancient. Their design is older than the Council itself. Older even than most of our civilizations. This is not stolen technology. This is something different. The reptilian elder leaned forward, his eyes glowing in the dim chamber. Then the question is not where the ships came from. The question is, why are they with the humans? Heavy silence followed. Far away, in human command bunkers deep beneath the earth, leaders spoke in calm but sharp voices. The fleet was awake now. Hiding was no longer possible. The galaxy had seen enough to fear. General Hale studied the glowing display of ships moving inside the asteroid belt. His voice was low but steady. They are asking questions. They do not know if these ships are ours, or if we found them. That doubt is our shield. Admiral Reyes crossed his arms. And our sword when the time comes. Dr. Marin, the historian, looked troubled. Do you not see what this means? If the galaxy learns the truth, they will fear us more than ever. These ships are not new. They are older than memory. They carry symbols and patterns we cannot even explain. Hale's eyes narrowed. The galaxy does not need explanations. They only need to know one thing, that the fleet belongs to humanity. Now. Meanwhile, in the asteroid belt, the fleet continued to stir. The warships were massive, built with strange designs that no living engineer could fully understand. Some carried markings carved deep into their hull spirals, runes, and shapes that glowed faintly in the dark. Others looked patched and restored, steel plates welded over ancient scars. Each ship hummed with energy that felt wrong to alien sensors. The power was too old, too stable, too strong. It was like listening to the heartbeat of a creature that should have died long ago, but had chosen to live forever. Alien historians worked day and night, comparing records. They searched ancient archives, forbidden texts, and half-forgotten ruins. Slowly, a terrifying picture began to form. These ships did not belong to any known empire. They were older than the avian dynasties, older than the insectoid swarms, older even than the first reptilian kingdoms. Some records hinted at an age of silence, a time before the council, when the stars burned with wars no one remembered. Whole civilizations had risen and vanished, leaving nothing but dust. Perhaps these ships were from that forgotten time. One historian whispered in fear, if these ships truly belong to humanity, then humans are not young. They are ancient, ancient beyond measure. The galaxy trembled at the thought. A fleet of alien scouts decided to test the humans. They sent 3 fast ships into the edge of the asteroid belt, not too close, but close enough to gather clear data. At first, everything was quiet. The scouts recorded huge shapes moving in formation, cannons shifting, engines burning faintly. But then, one of the warships turned. It was as if a giant eye had opened in the dark, staring directly at them. The scout crews panicked. They tried to retreat, but their ships froze. Their controls locked. A signal jammed their systems, shutting down everything except life support. The alien pilots could only sit helplessly as a human voice spoke through their radios. Leave. One word, cold, commanding. The scouts fled. They returned alive but broken. Their reports spread across the galaxy. The humans were not hiding anymore. They were warning. On Earth, the leaders listened to the intercepted council debates with silent satisfaction. The aliens were afraid, divided, and uncertain. Admiral Reyes spoke with a grim smile. They argue while we prepare. Their fear is our weapon, but Dr. Marin remained uneasy. Weapons built on fear can also destroy the hand that holds them. If the empires unite, even the ancient fleet may not save us. General Hale placed a hand on the table. Then we make sure they never unite. Doubt will keep them apart. They will fear each other as much as they fear us. Ordinary people across the galaxy lived in suspense. In markets, stations, and colonies, rumors flew like fire. I heard the ships were built before the stars had names. They say the humans woke up gods of war. No worse than gods. They woke up their own past. Every telling grew darker, stranger. Some alien civilians begged their leaders to avoid human space forever. Others demanded war, afraid of what would happen if the humans grew stronger. No one agreed. And that was exactly how humanity wanted it. In the asteroid belt, the warships gathered. Dozens now floated together, their formation precise, their silence heavy. The largest ship, a giant with a hull longer than cities, began to broadcast a low signal. It was not words. It was not numbers. It was a pulse, slow, steady, endless. Across the galaxy, listening stations picked it up. The signal carried a strange echo, like the memory of a voice long dead. Some scientists swore it was a language, one older than any in the council. Others believed it was only noise, but to the humans, it was clear. It was the fleet calling for more ships to awaken. In secret human facilities, old archives opened. Files sealed for centuries were unlocked. Engineers studied blueprints no one had seen before. Pilots were chosen, trained in silence. Humanity was not only revealing the fleet, they were preparing to use it. And the galaxy knew. At the council, fear turned to anger. The insectoid commander slammed his claws down again. This is madness. These warships are older than civilization itself, and humans now command them. Do you not see the danger? They could wipe us all out in a single war. We must destroy them now, before it is too late. The reptilian elder growled in reply. Destroy them? You fool! You do not even know how many ships they have. You do not know if they built them, found them, or inherited them. Attack blindly, and you will be the first to burn. The avian scholar spread his wings. There's another question. If the ships are older than us, then where did they come from? Did the humans discover an ancient arsenal? Or were the humans themselves part of that forgotten age? That question shook the chamber more than any threat of war. Across the stars, ordinary people began to wonder the same. Were the humans really a young race? Or were they survivors of something far older, something the galaxy had forgotten? In the belt, the warships answered with silence. Their cannons glowed faintly, their engines burned, and their shadows stretched wider with every passing hour. The galaxy waited. The humans waited. And the ancient fleet, older than civilizations, prepared to show its true power. The galaxy had reached breaking point. The shadows in the asteroid belt were no longer rumors. Dozens of massive warships had been seen, moving with precision, glowing faintly with ancient power. Probes had vanished. Scouts had returned broken, with stories of impossible ships. Every empire was afraid. And when fear grows too strong, it turns into anger. In the Galactic Council, voices clashed like thunder. The insectoid commander hissed sharply, slamming his claws on the stone table. Enough of this waiting. The humans mock us with their silence. They hide monsters in their asteroid belt. We must strike them now, before those warships destroy us all. The reptilian elder's deep voice rumbled. Strike blindly? Against ships we do not understand. Against weapons older than our own civilizations? That is not courage, it is suicide. The avian scholar spread his wings, trembling. But if we do nothing, humans may grow stronger. They may awaken more ships. If the stories are true, they could already have enough power to end empires. Can we risk waiting? The council chamber erupted with noise. Some demanded war, others begged for peace. And hidden among them all were whispers of a darker question. What if humans had been waiting for this moment all along? While the council fought with words, one empire acted. The Vorax Dominion was an insectoid power, proud and ruthless. For centuries they had bullied smaller races, using fleets of sharp, spiked warships to expand their territory. They saw humans as nothing but reckless children. To them, the asteroid fleet was a bluff, an illusion to scare the galaxy. So the Vorax decided to test the humans. They sent a dreadnought, one of their strongest warships, directly into the Sol system. The dreadnought entered the edge of the asteroid belt like a predator. Its black hull shimmered with shield energy. Its weapons glowed, capable of reducing moons to rubble. The galaxy held its breath. Would humans answer? Would the ancient fleet awaken? Or would the dreadnought prove that humanity was nothing but a pretender? In the asteroid belt, silence ruled. The great ships floated among the rocks, unmoving, like giants asleep. The Vorax dreadnought advanced deeper, scanning, recording, daring the humans to respond. Inside its control room, insectoid officers hissed in excitement. See? Nothing but fear. Their ships are dead relics, old bones covered in dust. Humanity is weak, but then, movement. One of the massive warships turned. Slowly, as if rising from the grave, it drifted out of the shadow of an asteroid. Its hull was scarred with age, its design both alien and human. Enormous cannons lined its sides, glowing faintly with power. The dreadnought's crew froze. The warship was larger than anything they had expected, longer, wider, heavier. It moved with a grace no ancient relic should have. And then, it spoke. Human voice, calm and steady, filled the dreadnought's radios. Leave, the Vorax commander laughed, his mandibles clicking. Empty threats, fire, the dreadnought's main cannon roared. A beam of energy, strong enough to split a small planet, tore through space toward the ancient ship. The asteroid belt lit up in fire. Rocks shattered. Dust filled the void. For a moment, the galaxy thought humanity's secret would end in ashes. But when the dust cleared, the ancient warship still floated untouched. Its shields glowed faintly, a dull golden light, as if brushing off the attack like rain. The dreadnought crew stared in horror. Their strongest weapon had done nothing, and then the human warship answered. Its central cannon glowed brighter and brighter, charging with impossible energy. The hum grew into a roar, vibrating through the void. Even distant listening stations across the system felt the pulse. Then, with a single flash, the warship fired. A beam of light erupted, faster and brighter than any weapon the galaxy had ever seen. It cut across the void and struck the Vorax dreadnought. The insectoid ship had no chance. Its shields shattered instantly. Its hull cracked, then exploded. In seconds, the mighty dreadnought was nothing but molten debris drifting silently among the rocks. One shot. One warship. One kill. The galaxy shook in terror. News of the destruction spread like fire. Across thousands of systems, broadcasts replayed the moment, the golden shield brushing aside the attack, the single blast tearing the dreadnought apart. The first time in history, the galaxy realized the truth. The ancient fleet was not a bluff. Humanity's warships were real. And they were death itself. In the council, panic broke out. Delegates screamed over one another. Some demanded immediate surrender to humanity. Others demanded total war. But none could deny the truth anymore. The balance of power had changed. Forever, the insectoid commander was pale, his claws trembling. His own empire's dreadnought had been destroyed in a single shot. He shouted in fury, but his voice carried no strength anymore. The reptilian elder spoke calmly, his eyes sharp. You see now, humanity does not bluff. Their silence was not weakness, it was warning. The avian scholar whispered, "What kind of fleet destroys a dreadnought with one shot? What power is this? It is not human technology. It is something far older." The council had no answers. On Earth, General Hawley watched the destruction replay on his screen. His face was stone, his voice steady. The galaxy has seen the first test. Now they will believe. Admiral Reyes nodded. They will believe and they will fear. No empire will dare attack us lightly again. But Dr. Marin, the historian, looked unsettled. You are celebrating a victory, but I see something else. That ship did not just destroy a dreadnought, it erased it. That kind of power was not meant for ordinary wars. It was meant for something greater, something darker. I fear we are awakening weapons even we do not understand. The room grew heavy with silence. Meanwhile, in the asteroid belt, the warship that had fired returned to its formation. The other ancient ships moved silently beside it, their cannons glowing faintly. Ready for more. The message was clear. If anyone else dared to enter the belt, the same fate would follow. The galaxy trembled. Ordinary people were stunned, alien. Markets and colonies, the story of the one shot, spread like legend. Some called the humans gods, others called them demons. Children whispered about the golden shields and the burning cannon. Traders refused to go near Soldat. The galaxy was no longer laughing at humanity. It was holding its breath in fear, but fear has two faces. While some empires pulled back in terror, others grew more desperate. In the far corners of the galaxy, leaders gathered in secret, whispering plans. They would not wait for humanity to awaken every warship. If they did, no one would survive. Whispers of alliances formed in shadows. Plans for a great strike began to take shape. And yet, humanity remained silent. No speeches, no threats, no declarations. The only words the galaxy had heard were from the ancient warship before it destroyed the dreadnought. One word: leave. But silence was more frightening than war, because silence meant humanity was waiting. And no one knew what for. The galaxy was on edge. For cycles, the stars had whispered rumors of humanity's secret fleet, shadows in the asteroid belt, vanished scout ships, ancient warships older than empires. And now, after the first test of power, fear had become absolute. Every empire waited. Every fleet paused. Every council chamber debated, but none dared move first. Humanity's silence was deafening. On Earth, deep in the command bunkers beneath the Pacific Alliance headquarters, human leaders gathered. The first test had succeeded. The Vorax dreadnought had been destroyed with a single shot, and the message was clear. Humanity was no longer young, no longer weak. General Hawley leaned over the map table, pointing at the asteroid belt. They are watching. Every empire in the galaxy knows about our fleet. They are waiting for us to speak or for us to act, and they fear both. Admiral Reyes nodded. They do not understand the fleet. They cannot. They do not know what they have just seen. We have given them a warning. Now it is time to deliver the answer. Dr. Marin, the historian, looked worried. An answer? Humanity has never needed to answer the galaxy. For centuries we hid the fleet, not for war, but for protection. Now revealing it. This will change everything. Hale's eyes were steady. Yes, and that is why the answer must be absolute, clear, and unforgettable. Far above, the asteroid belt shimmered with activity. Dozens of warships had awakened. Their engines glowed, their cannons hummed, and their hulls reflected no light. They moved like a living organism, each ship a part of a greater whole. The galaxy watched in silence, unable to believe the scale of humanity's fleet. Every historian, every scientist, every leader struggled to explain what they saw. Some claimed humanity had inherited these ships from a forgotten age. Others whispered that humans were themselves ancient, survivors of a lost civilization. Number one could agree. No one dared approach. The Galactic Council convened for an emergency session. Fear ruled every word. The insectoid commander slammed his claws on the table. We cannot wait. They have destroyed a dreadnought. Their fleet is alive. We must act before they awaken more ships. The reptilian elder's deep voice cut through the room. Strike? You do not know the full fleet. You do not know their power. You risk annihilation if you act without understanding. Humanity does not threaten us for conquest. They threaten only those who would attack them first. The avian scholar's wings trembled. If we wait too long, others may make the first move. Some empires will not care about caution. They will strike, and humanity, they will respond. A cold silence fell over the council. The debate ended without resolution. No one dared risk humanity's wrath. Back in the asteroid belt, human commanders gave orders. Their voices were calm, precise. "Awaken all ships," said General Halle. "Formation Alpha, Beta, and Gamma. Engines at full standby. Weapons online. Begin rotation sweep. Let them see the fleet in motion." Across the belt, warships powered up. Engines glowed brighter, creating ribbons of light across the darkness. Cannons hummed, pulsing with energy older than any civilization. Hulls creaked, shifted, and aligned into massive formations that alien observers glimpsed the fleet and froze. Their sensors could not detect where one ship ended and another began. It was not a fleet, it was a single living entity. For the first time, humans transmitted a message to the galaxy. It was not a threat. It was not war. It was a statement. One calm voice, clear and steady, spoke across all channels. "We are humanity. We did not build this fleet to conquer. We did not awaken it for glory. We were guardians waiting. We will not harm you unless you threaten our home. This is your warning. Leave our space. Respect it, or face the consequences." The galaxy was stunned. For centuries, no species had spoken with such authority. Humans were not begging. They were commanding. In the far reaches, the insectoid commander paled. His claws shook. Did they just talk to all of us at once? The reptilian elder's scales rippled. Yes. And do you feel it? That calm, that certainty? That is not fear, that is power. The avian scholar whispered, and wisdom. They do not speak of conquest, only of protection. Yet, they can destroy us all if we ignore them. Meanwhile, humans moved their fleet in formations no one had seen before. The largest ship, a massive ancient vessel, led the Alpha formation. Its cannons glowed like suns, engines brighter than distant stars. Behind it, smaller warships fanned out, a perfect shield and spear ready for any attack. Alien historians recorded everything. They compared it to every known fleet in history, and their records shattered. The humans' fleet was unlike anything in the archives. The power, the discipline, the scale, it was beyond comprehension. The galaxy realized something terrifying. Humanity had not revealed their full strength yet. What they saw was only a fraction of the fleet. In secret human bunkers, young pilots prepared for maneuvers. Engineers monitored ancient systems, watching shields, energy outputs, and weaponry hum with renewed life. For centuries, humans had hidden the fleet. Now every ship was awake, every gun online, every engine ready. Hall looked at the display, calm and determined. They are watching. Let them see, let them fear. Humanity will not strike first, but if anyone dares, he paused. We will respond. The first empire to test humanity's patience was the Vorax Dominion. Furious at losing a dreadnought, they sent a small fleet toward Sol. Their ships were strong, but still dwarfed by humanity's ancient warships. The moment they entered the asteroid belt, the fleet moved. Warships glided through the rocks with precision, surrounding the intruders. Cannons hummed, engines pulsed, shields glimmered. A human voice echoed through all communications. Leave or you will be destroyed. The Vorax fleet hesitated. Their officers shouted, weapons primed. But every system in their ships shook under the hum of the human fleet. Their sensors registered power beyond anything they had ever seen. Panic set in. Then without firing a single shot, the Vorax retreated. Their ships fled through space, unable to risk a single cannon against humanity's fleet. The galaxy had seen a warning. One empire tested the humans, and now everyone knew the cost of failure. Across the stars, other empires whispered. Traitors stopped traveling near Sol. Colonies canceled supply runs. Council meetings were dominated by fear. Humanity's answer had been given. It was clear, precise, and terrifying. Humanity would not strike first, but any threat would be met with total force. And yet, humans still did not celebrate. They moved with calm purpose, their ancient ships forming shields, patrols, and stations. The message was clear. Humanity was ready. Humanity was patient. Humanity was eternal. In the council chambers, fear gave way to grudging respect. No one dared call humanity weak anymore. No one laughed at the young race of Earth. The galactic balance had shifted. The insectoid commander muttered, They are not young. They are not weak. They are—" The reptilian elder finished for him. "They are what we thought impossible. Humanity has been underestimated for too long. And now we know why." The avian scholar simply shook his head. "The galaxy may never be the same again." On Earth, in the command room, Holly, Reyes, and Marin watched the stars. The fleet was fully awake. Humanity had delivered its answer. Not through war, not through conquest, but through clarity, patience, and undeniable power. General Halle finally allowed a small smile. They understand now. The galaxy knows the truth. Dr. Marin nodded, her expression thoughtful. "Yes, but one question remains. Will they respect it?" Admiral Reyes' eyes were steady. "If they value their empires, they will. If not, we are ready." Above the asteroid belt, the fleet glided silently. Its massive shadow stretched across the rocks, its engines pulsing like living hearts. Humanity's answer was clear to all who watched. We are not here to conquer. We are here to protect. But anyone who threatens us will face power older than history itself. The galaxy held its breath. Humanity had spoken. Humanity had shown its strength. And the stars would never look at Earth the same way again.